Today I am installing rear wheel arch trim pieces on this F90 M5 competition. Let's take a look at the parts. I will make a few quick comments. We'll move on to installation, which is quite simple. And what do we have in front of us? Well, these are the trim pieces themselves. The part numbers are clearly visible on video. However, I will include those in the description. These are black plastic. If you're looking for carbon fiber, those are available in the aftermarket. But let's first talk about what these are and what they are not. They are wheel arch trim pieces. They're not stone guards, they're not mud flaps, and they do not come equipped on US bound M5s. This is something that you'll see in other geographies, primarily in the UK. In those geographies, they require that the wheel and tires remain within the body structure. That is, the wheel and tire cannot break outside of the plane of the rear fenders. Now, in the case of the M5, the top of the wheel is just inside of the body structure, but the bottom of the wheel, due to the camber, is just slightly outside. To mitigate or remedy the situation without making major body structure changes, BMW has come up with this. Now, they're not the first ones. There have been other manufacturers such as Maserati, and there's one or two others that have done exactly the same to meet the requirements of, I'm not sure what they call their Department of Transportation or DOT, but in the UK. And I keep referring to the UK, but there's other geographies that do this. This allows them to abide by those regulations. That's what we're looking at here. Two pieces of trim that are not included on US bound M5s. You can purchase these online, and that in itself is another point. If you're trying to purchase these through a US dealer, good luck. They are doing VIN match verifications. They will request your VIN if you try to purchase these pieces. I tried at my local dealer as well as two other dealers in other areas of the country, and each time my request was rejected. If you wish to purchase these trim pieces, you will need to do so through a third party, such as ECS Tuning, FCP Euro, Turner Motorsports, Pelican Parts, Auto House, HZ. The list goes on. There's a lot of those suppliers out there that can get these parts for you without getting shut down by the dealer. And actually, it's not the dealer. I should clarify. It is BMW of North America, their parts supply. They're, again, the ones doing the validation. It's not the dealer. The dealer would gladly sell you these, but they're not doing that. And now let's talk about one more topic, and that is price. If you go back into early 2022, these trim pieces were going for on the order of about $150 each. And for reasons unknown, the price has dropped. That's all good. $40 to $50 per trim piece was the price in fourth quarter of 2022. My last point regards why I am installing these. The first reason has to do with aesthetics. I like the look. And secondly, it provides a function in that these protect the rear wheel arches from road rash. I've seen a number of M5s as well as base 5 series, and that area of the vehicle tends to get a lot of rock chips, etc. These do serve a function. They're relatively inexpensive, and we'll move on with the install. It's very straightforward. Will be one of the most simple things you ever do. The vehicle is on the lift. If you do not have access to a lift, a floor jack will suffice. Removal of the rear wheels is not required to perform this operation. Let's take a look at the fasteners that must be removed for the installation. First up is this 10mm black plastic nut. There's one above that in the center position. Let's rotate around. There's one located right here. This is to the rear of the vehicle. And then moving down, we have an 8mm long thread screw. This is a self-tapping screw and actually helps to hold the rear fascia in place. So be aware of that. That screw and the one below it are securing fasteners for the rear fascia. When installing the wheel arch trim, you're not going to move this or pop it down and put the plastic in behind it. You're going to leave this in place. A quick look at the three fasteners again. Three 10mm plastic nuts and the one 8mm long screw. That screw is longer than underbody fasteners that you see on BMWs, but again, it's a securing fastener. Let's walk around to the other side of the vehicle. This trim piece is installed and fully secured. You get a look at that from the side and walk around from the rear. So let's look up inside again. 10mm plastic nut. There's another one, having trouble directing the light here. There's another one above that. There's one towards the rear there. And then there is your 8mm long screw. Again, that holds the rear fascia in place, or at least it's one of the fasteners. The second of the wheel arch trim pieces is installed. Everything's buttoned up, and again, just a quick look. Let's rotate around here. Yeah, I think that looks really good. It'll look even better when I have the vehicle back on the ground, but that is the desired effect. You're getting coverage from right here all the way back into the rear fascia. And if you don't like this full coverage look, they actually make a quarter piece that goes, I believe, it's about that long, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe it goes to about right here or something. The M5 is off the lift. Let's take a look at the finished results. Again, this vehicle's been in winter storage for 3 months. It's a bit dusty, and we are at peak pollen. Everything's greening up. It's beautiful. It's a nice day, but there's copious amounts of everything coming out of trees and bushes and everything else. This is the finished result. I'm very happy with the look and the function of the wheel arch trim on the F90 M5. Have another look. I'm usually not a fan of this type of stuff. However, in the case of the F90, as most of you know, it does not have flared rear arches. This is something that I really like, and adds a touch of flair while being aesthetically pleasing, and it also serves a function. Keep the rocks and debris off of the bodywork, which is a problem on this vehicle. If you have questions about this project, if you need assistance in some way, drop me an email and I'll be happy to assist. I hope this has been helpful.